Eva on Bahay.
Hey. Uh-oh. All right. Apologies. Just messed that straight on up. Um, all right, y'all. Apologies. I just screwed that entire thing up. So there's that. Whatever. Let's go. Let's move ahead, man. Good show. Let me get this. Let me get this turned down. Apologies again. I just screwed that entire thing up. So, but let's move on. Let's jump right into the fucking show. Excuse my language. What is good? What is good, y'all? First things first, if you live in and around in Florida at any point in time, I hope you guys stay safe. Get the hell out of there. It's about to get really, really crazy down there. So if you live down there, uh again, like Georgia, there's a lot of people probably maybe watching the show or listening who sort of live in that direction. We're gonna get some of that weather too as well, but there's bad weather that is headed to Florida. It's I mean like this evening, basically. So uh yeah. All right. So apologies again. I messed that whole intro up for the show. So I'll get that fixed. I promise you guys. I promise you guys. This is not a good start. Not definitely not. Give me just a second. All right. Apologies again. Apologies for just fucking this entire thing up. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's get right into it, man. Obviously, this is their second episode. There's gonna be some trials and tribulations, things I mess up. I thought I was gonna have everything hooked up, but I guess not. So anyway, we'll move forward. What's good, everybody? Shit, music stop. Let's do it like this. All right. So, you got a lot of shit to talk about today. Obviously, Falcons continue to excel in NFL. Another overtime game for the season. Pulled it out. It was exciting. The Braves, yeah, they didn't make it, bro. They didn't make it, man. I know the last time you saw me, I was really hoping for a game to sort of tie this series up with the Padres, and it didn't happen. We got eliminated. And they're actually putting in some work on the Dodgers right now, which is but the hot teams, bruh, the hot teams. As soon as the Dodgers got sort of down to the Padres, you started hearing that talk again of we don't need to have a break. Well, don't have a break then, MLB. If you don't want to have a break, when the postseason ends, you notice that wild card break when the teams at the top. Normally, for some reason, baseball never they can never keep the momentum. They could win the last 20 games of the season, and they take a 5-day break to let the wild card games play. All of a sudden, bats don't work, nothing works. So that's insane. But that's what's happening. So like that, you're hearing that talk now from maybe we don't need a break. Every sport has a break, bro. It's the playoffs, man. You got to let the teams that sort of barely get in there play first before there's going to be teams that gets first round buys. If you're trying to eliminate that with baseball, then you're talking about adding 2 more teams per sort of per league to the playoffs. If you're trying to eliminate the break, right? So you're talking about somebody who might go into the postseason with a unanimous, like literally the best record in MLB, and then they're like, yo, like, you're immediately playing as soon as the season ends. I guess that's how they want it, man. I guess honestly, if I'm being honest, I remember what happened to the Braves last postseason. Best record in the majors, and literally got to the postseason, took a 5-day break to let the wild card round play out, clapped. So that's I can feel that to a certain extent. So we'll see if in the future they add a couple more teams per league, National League and American League to have it so that there's not such a layoff for the number 1 seed. In other sports, the number 1 seed love a layoff, right? In other sports, the number 1 seed loves to be down, sort of chilling while the teams that barely made the playoffs sort of got this thing. But in baseball, I've never seen the break hurt a team so much as just taking those 4 or 5 days off to sort of get that going. So we'll talk about that. Against the Falcons, Georgia gets back in the winning column, get back in the dub column. We'll talk about that when it comes to that game. I get a little clue, kind of, if you didn't know, I work third shift, so I sort of sleep at that point in time, and on Saturdays I try to get my sleep schedule to the Georgia game. So I kind of overslept a bit and woke up, and it was midway through the third quarter, and the score was 7-3. You want to talk about mad? We'll get to that. You lose to Bama, and then the next week you come back and you're playing Auburn, and that's all you can put up a quarter and a half through a game. You should be pissed off because you got clapped by Bama last week. So yeah. My wife's in the house. Hey babe, what's up? What up? So yeah, talk about that. Georgia Tech too. Georgia Tech, back in the winning column. Played Duke this weekend. Look at that a little bit. The Hawks started some preseason basketball. They want to know buzzer beater at that. Buzzer beater out there for for the Hawks, man, in the first preseason game, man. So all of that stuff we'll talk about. But real quick before we jump into that, hey, I gotta tell y'all. So if you see me swatting, right, there's a fly in here. He got in here about 5 minutes before I went live, and I can't get him out of here, which is rather aggravating. So if you see me swatting around, I just knocked my mic like this way, just because there's a fly, and it's the fly's got to go, bro. The fly in the room. Hey, as long as I've been doing sort of content creation in this room, like doing live streams and stuff, this is not the first time something has gotten in here that's flying around. And when I say it's aggravating, it is absolutely aggravating. So let's jump in. IE Sports Radio, you know what I'm saying? Follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at IE Sports Radio. IE Sports Radio is available on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, Castbox, Deezer Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and Geosavon. Still don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. That's you can find everything you need on isportsradio.com. But if you put a / to that and put the Georgia Sports Central on there, you can get right to this show. Also, iesportsradio.com/shop, baby. They got some cool merch on it. I need to get the website up here so I can show y'all some of the merch during the show, just to make sure everybody's, getting, can see what they're talking about or whatever. And also on YouTube, which some of y'all are probably watching on YouTube right now, IE Sports Radio on YouTube, man. So, ready to get into the show. Real quick, we're gonna take a shout out to the sponsors, man. Again, get yourself some jerky. Seal the Deal Wax Seals and IE Sports Radio, man. Let's jump right in. Take a break. After the break, we jumping right into the Falcons, baby. Right into the Falcons, and I'm gonna give y'all a little bit. Like I always say that something like this where it's a personal sort of connection with the audience, and it's I like to build that over time so that people sort of get the gist of how I roll when I do live streams and then that nature and do these shows or whatever. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of stuff, some of the stuff that I've been fortunate enough to be able to attend. Just a couple things, just to show you guys, like some of the stuff that I've been able to, because I'm so happy at times when I'm able to sort of attend events and things of that nature that I'm gonna show you guys some of this stuff, some pictures, some of the things I've been to over the past years, and I'll do that from time to time on the show. Just again, I like to build a sort of personal thing with the audience, and sort of have you guys like, yo, that dude's cool. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm running a little bit behind, but let's get.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, what up, y'all? What up, y'all? What up, y'all? You know what I'm saying? I'm back. I have returned. Get yourself some Seal the Deal wax seals. I'm telling you, I'm getting me some of them Seal the Deal wax seals, bro. I literally want to just seal just anything like Game of Thrones, man. Like you know what I'm saying? But it's that's such a cool fucking thing, man. So get yourself some Seal the Deal wax seals. As you can see right there, where to get them from, and some Planet Jerky, man. I need to get my hands on some of that too. I bet it's again, like I told you, I do love jerky, man. I do love jerky. Hey, yo, what up, Andre? What's good, bruh? Again, y'all see I'm waving. There's a fly in here that got trapped in here before I was able to get the show started. So that's going to be an aggravating thing the entire time. But anyway, let's get at it, man. So again, like I said, to try to get a little personal with the audience, sort of reach out and like show some things that I've been able and fortunate enough to do sports wise as far as meeting people. And feel free, man. Feel free to hit me up, man, on X at 2279 ACS _ right. Hit me up there, or yeah, anywhere on social. You can find me at 2279 ACS on Instagram as well. And then also on Twitter at GA Sports Central IESR to sort of send me some of your stuff. Tell me what you got, man. If you met a celebrity, got an autograph, pictures, anything of that nature, send it to me, man. Sports wise, I love seeing that shit. I love seeing when like sort of regular people, fans, get to meet the athlete that they've been, following and loving their entire life, right? So it's always cool to see some of that stuff. So I'm gonna pull up a couple things that I've gotten to sort of be a part of as far as hold on, let me bring this over here. Give me just a second. Just make it a little more personal, man. A little bit more personal, so the viewers out there and the people listening can be like, "Oh shit, dudes like me," like, you know what I mean? Like if the shoe fits and sort of that type of thing. But hold on, let me get this. Apologies. So anyway, if you can see that right there, that's me. SEC Championship game 2019. Now, if you can recall correctly, Georgia got clizapped by LSU. This was the Joe Burrow year, right? The Jamar Chase, right. All of them cats playing for LSU at the time. So yeah, this was that SEC Championship game. First time going, the only SEC Championship game I've ever been to, and we got clapped. But again, what a great experience was to go there. So that's to take that down real quick. Just want to show y'all some of that stuff. Let's see if I can find something else. I know it's going to pop up like that. Met Herschel Walker one time at this same SEC Championship game, right? That's me right there. You know what I'm saying? It's more PJ. Shouts out PJ and Jonathan. Some they also host with me for Instant Replay, my the sports show that's on my personal YouTube channel. So just want to shout that out. Got to meet Herschel Walker right there, which was dope. I have a friend, shouts out to Sloan, who gets me the hookup. And I've been fortunate enough to like sort of sit in like a suite and watch football games the past couple of years, not every weekend or whatever, but whenever I'm given the chance to, I sort of take that because it's also a fun time to get to do stuff like that. Hey, yo, what up, Larry? What's good, bro? What is up? What is up? What is up? Just giving the people just a little bit of my sports fandom, like, you know, a little bit of the backdrop or whatever. Let's see. Let me get something else up here. Something else I know. Oh, this is the football that Herschel Walker signed. So if you didn't know, if you were fortunate enough to get to come to that suite that we were in for that SEC championship game, there were Herschel Walker signed a bunch of footballs for people, which was fire. Imagine being a Georgia fan, Herschel Walker signing your footballs, bro. Yeah, it was dope. It was dope. It was a fun time. It was an absolutely fun time. But yeah, so I've been able to see a couple things, man. I do need to show you guys this too, just so you get kind of a gist. So I'll put it up there. The first time I got to go to a Falcons game in this sort of capacity, they were playing the Seahawks, and my homies make fun of me from Instant Replay because Sierra was in the suite, and you know, Sierra, Russell Wilson's wife, was in there and sort of, you know, talking to people and taking pictures. And I'm one of them cats that, like, I don't like to bother folks, man. You know what I mean? I don't like to, you know, people, if you're celebrities, things of that nature, like, I don't like to bother you, man. You know what I'm saying? You doing your thing, whatever. I hate to be that cat out there, like, sort of begging for, like, whatever. So, like, you know, they would say, no, go ask her. So one of my homeboys, Sloan, asked her, and she really couldn't because it was just kind of busy up there. She was about to, and there was a certain point in time where she was like, yo, can I watch the game for a second? Because obviously her husband was out there on the field playing when he still played for the Seahawks. And I just never got to take a picture. They make fun of me all the time for that. Yeah, you missed taking a picture with Sierra. And it sucks. I probably could have got one if I had been that, you know, tap on the shoulder type. Can I get a picture with you? But I've never been there. Like, the couple of pictures I got with Herschel Walker and stuff was sort of that just came together. As you can see, we all sort of grouped together and we got to take a picture with Herschel. There is one more though. After what the Sierra thing was, the first time we ever got to go there. Warwick Dunn works for the Falcons, right? NFL legend, right? One of the dopest running backs, that I've ever watched play football in my entire life. For Florida State, for Tampa Bay, and for the Falcons, right? Great football players, right? And as he's retired from football, he does a lot of, you know, he basically Warwick Dunn gives free homes to single mothers, right? That's what he does, basically. So dude's out here doing his thing. So he comes in there and I was like, oh, that's Warwick Dunn. Damn, that go out to I ain't bothering him. Man's doing his business. He's working. He has one of the things you always notice about the people who work at the stadium. They have these things around their neck with you know, sort of credentials on it. And I was like, nah, I'm good. So anyway, I go to use the bathroom, and let me describe it first of the suite. You get to the suite, right? You walk in. There's this little corridor. Immediately to the right is one of the dopest non-bathroom or non-bathtub or shower bathrooms I've ever seen in my entire life. There's TVs in the mirror. There's a TV on top of the toilet, above it, and there's one across from it. So no matter what you're doing, number one and number two, you get to watch the game. And then there's the one in the mirror. So while you're washing your hands and things of that nature, you also get to watch the game. So sweet ass bathroom. To the left is like this bar thing, and it opens up. There's food and all kinds of shit in there. So as we we go in this thing, and obviously we've seen Warwick Dunn. I'm like, hey man, I ain't gonna bother him. He look like he's handling business. I go to the bathroom, right? Go to the bathroom. When I exit the bathroom, I look back at my seat where I was sitting, where we all were. Warwick Dunn is standing right next to my seat, bro. Warwick Dunn is standing right. And I'm like, bro, you son of a gun. Like, I immediately knew that something was up with that. There's no way Warwick Dunn just stands by my seat while I use the bathroom, bro. There's no way. So they were up to, I ain't gonna say they were up to no good, because they got one of my most memorable memories that I've ever had as a sports fan. But at the same time, let me get this up for y'all real quick. So basically what happened when I went to the bathroom, they stopped Warwick Dunn and said, hey man, our friend really wants to talk to you, but he's kind of nervous, you know, he don't want to bother you or whatever. So that they put together this scheming thing where he would literally, hold on, let me find this thing, man. Where is it at? Where is it? All right. It's the best I got. Let me pull this video. This is the video as I as I go to stand beside Warwick, or sit back in my seat, and I'm thinking the whole time, y'all know y'all have to know, because they wouldn't even look at me as I came back to the seat. They wouldn't even look at me. I'm gonna mute the video so you can't really hear this. Falcon Stadium is pretty loud. So they don't say nothing as I come back to my seat. So I get in my seat and I'm sitting there and I'm looking. I'm like, son of a gun. So let me bring this up real quick. This is me meeting Warwick Dunn, and Warwick Dunn asked me, and I told you guys last week about my fandom. He's like, "Yo, why you at a Falcons game with Georgia gear on?" And I was like, hey, basically getting asked that by Warwick Dunn. Come on, bro. So I'm gonna pull this up here. So let's take a look. Let's take a look real quick when we get to it. So you see, he asking me about why I got the Georgia hat on at the Falcons game. Cool experience, man. Very, very, very something that I'll never forget for the rest of the time that I exist on this planet. Right. So, like, I just want to bring that up real quick, just to every time I go live, I'm gonna try to bring y'all something personal, sports wise, for me that maybe could sort of give you this idea. But how much sports mean to me or whatever. Yeah, if I'm getting on here and spending time out of my day to talk about sports for like whatever amount of time, that means sports means a lot, and it's cool to sort of be able to show people stuff like that I was able to have that happen. Yo, what up, Adam? What's good? What's good? What's good? All right. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Let's jump in. I know I am running severely behind, but jumping in Falcons, man. Falcons, Thursday night football, right? The last time you guys saw me, I was Wednesday, first show, right? And I was hoping that the Falcons would take this dub on Thursday. And guess what? They did it in convincing fashion, man. Let's talk about, there's a lot of things, man, that we could talk about with this victory. First of all, Falcons is number one in the NFC South, right? They're number one. All right, they're 3-2. The Buccaneers are 3-2. They're in second place. Obviously, we got the tiebreaker right there this early in the season. The Saints are 2-3, and the Panthers are 1-4. Right, so the Falcons are leading the division. Right, and we have a chance this weekend to sort of step up to the Panthers and get like the early season divisional trifecta. Right, let's get 3-0 against the division as soon as possible. So now, as we continue to roll on with, let's see, Kirk. Hey, man, I'll tell you this. When the ink was still wet on Kirk Cousins' contract with the Falcons, I thought the Falcons are going to win this division this season. Like and I didn't expect the Bucs to come out the way they did earlier this season. And they're still playing good football. The Saints, obviously, they've fallen on some. They started off strong as well. The Panthers didn't start off strong, so maybe they finished. Who knows what goes on with them? But I think when Kirk signed here, I thought the pieces that they have, there's no reason why the Falcons shouldn't win the NFC South with this thing, right? Immediately. Just because I'm like, yo, Kirk can do his thing, man. So I think he is. Obviously, a couple of things that's promising for Falcons fans is Kirk came out, and remember the demons he had? Primetime Kirk. Kirk can't win primetime games. He's going to get class. Remember those things, right? So Kirk came out and sort of conquered those demons a few times since he's been with the Falcons, right? I mean, shit, man, he beat the Bucs, primetime. The Eagles, right? Oh, no, my Kansas City Chiefs, which they lost to, but we could sort of look at that and say, okay, we saw that play. Right? And the Eagles came out there and sort of did their thing against the Eagles. So, like, primetime Kirk has been pretty dope, man. Pretty dope so far, thus far for the Falcons in his tenure here. So, yeah, man, they played well. Obviously, you look at the game, it was kind of back and forth. Defenses both defenses were sort of kind of non-existent for a certain period of time because there was no stops. It wasn't like last week's game with the Falcons where sort of there was a special teams fumble to get the scoring. So it wasn't like that. It's different. It was totally different. They came out there, scored on their drives, and it sort of came in. Let me get some of this stuff up here as we talk about the game, man. And Kirk, 500 yards. Kirk Cousins went 250 per half. 250 per half. That's insane on all kinds of levels. 250 per half. 250 yards passing per half. you see a lot of times where, you know, at the end of the game, a quarterback will have 400 something yards, whatever, some like outlandish, like passing yard statistic. And you're like, oh shit. But most of it came in the second half and they were fighting to come back when they were behind or whatever reason. Because if you're ahead from the start of the game, there's no way in hell you throwing for 500 yards because you're probably going to get benched if your team is ahead by that much. But it was steady. Every time they scored, the Bucks would get their chance, right. So you saw how that thing was going and moving up. So Kirk Cousins, yo, there's a spike. I gotta, and if you haven't noticed yet, like when I get to talking about some of this stuff, I kind of all over the place because like the details just sort of hit me at these certain point in time. Sorry, I'm just trying to get you guys familiar with myself as we move into this second episode of Georgia Sports Central. But when the spike, y'all remember the spike to get to overtime? Dope. Kirk Cousins, man, is one of the best things. He came into the line, looks left and right. Like, hey, man, Kirk, man, looking good so far, as well as so far, right? Raheem Morris, you know, Kirk Cousins had threw a pick in the second half of the game, late in the second half, and sort of the next time the Falcons got the ball back, he was able to score, right? Kirk Cousins scored. Raheem Morris, the new head coach for the Falcons, extremely excited, right? He had told him after the pick, "You got this, bruh. Next play, we doing this thing, right?" And they did it. They scored in overtime. One play is all it took. Man. And I gotta say, they defense does what it needs to when it does. And then look, the Buccaneers are still good. Bakers, they still got a good squad on them. They just ran up in Atlanta. When I think Atlanta right now is sort of really, really, really understanding their selves as a football team and understanding what they're capable of and what they're not capable of. And sort of, you know, that's what the first quarter of the season should be for every NFL team, right? Is seeing what works and what doesn't. What players that you probably can count on sort of at midway through the season and toward the end, things of that nature that come with a fresh season of football. And the Falcons they're putting their thing out there, man. They're number one in the NFC South right now, right? Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, and they're pulling up to North Carolina this weekend, man. They got the Carolina Panthers, which, you know, there's no secret to them. They had the one game where Andy Dalton sort of went to Vegas and had a fire game, but other than that, they haven't been well. I mean, we all know that Bryce Young got benched after the start of the season, so this is where we at, man. And the Falcons will be, you know, taking their talents to Carolina this weekend, and let's see what happens there. I think, if I'm being honest, this shouldn't be, from what I've seen thus far from the Falcons this season. This right here, this game against Carolina shouldn't be a but again, that's why they play the game, right? That's the old saying that everybody likes to go with. Let's see. Let's get the pick. Yeah. That this is another thing too. I almost forgot is the Falcons have a chance by week 6, right, to sort of do the early season trifecta, divisional trifecta, where the other 3 teams in the division, they've already beaten 2 of them. They got the opportunity to beat the Panthers this weekend, which would carry them, right? And so we'll take a look at their schedule in just a little bit. But again, Kirk Cousins 500 passing yards. Bijan Robinson rushing 61 yards, Algier 12 yards. Rushing game was okay, but you know, it could have been better. But the passing was why they were winning. So why stop passing, right? Drake London, 154 yards receiving, 12 receptions, 1 touchdown. Mooney, 105 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns, 9 receptions. Kyle Pitts, who had 0 catches last week, had 7 this week for 88 yards, no touchdowns though. But hey, Hodge was the one who scored the game-winning touchdown in overtime, so you got to shout him out. And so Ray McCloud, let's see, 66 yards, Bijan 16, 13. And then you look over here, Baker Mayfield. Oh, hey, Baker was out here, 3 touchdowns, man, just 180 yards passing, but still doing again. Like I said, the Bucks, man, they still a good football team, right? Looking forward to seeing them again, though. And the next time we see them again, obviously it's going to be right down south. In Florida again, and shouts out, hey Florida, if y'all down there and y'all watching the show, man, get the safety, bro. It looks like it's going to be a little thing. I know the Buccaneers team left a few days ago. I don't know where they're headed, but they bounced from you know home because of what's going on down there. Baker Mayfield again, 180 yards. Rushing 72 yards from Rachaad White. Bucky Irvin had 44 yards. Baker had 42 yards rushing. Baker been a rusher this year, man, carrying the ball pretty well, man. Tampa Bay receiving. Goblin for 64, Evans for 62. Evans had 2 touchdowns. Obviously, he's going to get his. He is one of the best receivers in history in the NFL, not just in the league right now. There's talk that, hey, man, I seen that, man. I look, more power to him. I'm one of those people that sort of, when it comes to the Panthers, I don't blame any of this on Bryce Young. This dude was put in the worst situation possible. Drafted first overall from a team that had basically no offensive line to protect the cat. So he was bound for failure. And everybody like, oh, Stroud, they should have got Stroud. Look what they let. You know what? If Stroud had came to Carolina, I bet you Stroud be struggling right now. I guarantee you Stroud comes to Carolina and Bryce Young goes to Texans. Bryce Young probably, maybe they don't make the playoffs last year, the Texans don't, but I damn sure know the Carolina Panthers ain't making the playoffs with Bryce Young. So I hate that conversation that goes on about they should have drafted him. They should have. Hey, look. It went down the way it went down. The Carolina Panthers team was not equipped to start a young, inexperienced, like pro-wise a quarterback in any stretch of the imagination. Maybe a veteran, which is why Andy Dalton's able to sort of get some things moving with the offense, but not when it's fresh. Not when it's fresh. But anyway, Bryce, he might start. We'll see. I'm sure if he does start, the Falcons are going to be targeting him. I mean, I don't say targeting in a mean way. I just say targeting like they're going to be trying to take that cat down. So there's that. And every other team in the NFC South lost this weekend, right? Every other team, the Falcons are 3-2. The Buccaneers are also 3-2. But if there was a tiebreaker right now that needed to be had, the Falcons have that because they beat the Bucs. The Saints are 2-3, right? Started their season 2-0. Even with the Dallas and clapped their cheeks, right? And then now they've lost 3 straight games. They went out there. And then the Panthers are 1-4. So the Falcons are leading this division. And I don't see any reason why it's a stop. Again, as we look up here real quick before we move on, let me see. Look at this schedule. What they have coming up, right? All right. So they got Carolina. They have Seattle the next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. They got Tampa Bay again in Tampa Bay. So real quick turnaround on the NFC South stuff, like real quick. I didn't realize it was that fast. Then they got Dallas coming to Atlanta. That's probably going to be a sellout because, Dallas fans travel. So they'll be all over Atlanta for that weekend. So those are the next few games. And they got New Orleans, Denver, the Chargers, and the Vikings as well. So let's see. But besides Tampa Bay and New Orleans, and then obviously they finished the season, let's see, with a game against Carolina. So that's going to be the last one. I don't think the game against Carolina to finish the season will decide the division. If it does, then this division took a wild turn throughout the season, if that's in fact the case, right? So let's move on. So here we go. Carolina this week, Seattle next week, and then the week after that, we go to Tampa Bay to face our division rivals once again for the season. And I'm sure they're going to be trying to get some get back considering the way that they came into the game against us. I'm pretty sure that they're probably disappointed about that outcome. And everybody should be disappointed about catching an L. But when it came in that stance, the way that they were sort of neck and neck with the Falcons the entire game, and then you see what happens at the end that the Falcons end up pulling it out. And look, man, Falcons kind of clutch. Younghoe Koo tied that thing up to take it to overtime, right? And then they kind of Younghoe a second time he had a game winner earlier this season. Hey, the Falcons are kind of playing clutch football right now. Right? And I'm sure that's what you like to see if you're a Falcons fan, clutch football, because again, and I mentioned it last week, how close these games have been for the Falcons this early in the season. When it comes to get playoff time, right? Late season games and they get close, you're a veteran at this. You're well-versed in these things. So when that happens, the pressure that would normally be on a team who hasn't been in that situation before, you've been in that situation. And I'm guaranteeing there's going to be a couple more. Again, man, this is games that Minnesota they got to play. I think I would say Minnesota's pretty much the most daunting one. It's crazy that they play both teams that are 5-0 right now. How did both teams 5-0 both get a bye the same week too? Ain't that some wild shit? Chiefs and Vikings both on a bye. That's wild, man. That's wild. But anyway, this Falcons, man, they defeat the Bucs 30-36 in overtime. I'm sure everybody saw it. It was they played it a million times. It was pretty cool to see the play in which Atlanta won, and that's what they need, man. That's what they need. That's what they need down there is some of those feelings. And again, like I said, when Kirk signed with the Falcons, I thought they're immediately NFC South champions. Immediately, man. Immediately. The Crooks process, appreciate y'all. Yeah. Hey, if you in here, man, hit the like button. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Falcons, man. We'll see how things are going, how things tend to go on as the season goes on. But right now they sit in the top of the NFC South, man. That's as much as you can ask 5 games into the season for any team, right? Just to maybe be leading your division and then move on to some of the next steps that come after that. So we'll see what comes with that. And y'all give me just a second. Take some of this stuff down. And oops. Apologize. Again, you're watching IE Sports Radio. This is Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your source for your direct feed for all that is sports. And be back in just a second, y'all.
Hey there, sports fans. Are you looking for a sports show that maybe isn't 100% about sports?
Then you might want to check out the Sports Couple Perspectives right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Most sports shows cover only scores and stats, and while we're not opposed to that, we dig a little deeper into sports issues and some of the hottest topics in athletics.
In addition to sports, we take a journey through my neck of the woods, pop culture, with movie reviews of both sports and non-sports films.
Speaking of pop culture, make sure to participate in our game nights, where we quiz each other on our specialties, and you, the listeners, can win IE Sports Radio apparel.
We always have a great time learning more about each other's worlds, one show at a time.
So join us each week on the Sports Couple Perspectives, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, everyone? It's Drewski, the host of Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On this station, we cover everything in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. From where we cover the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Wings, Texas Rangers, TCU, SMU, we cover it all right here every Wednesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you stay live with me on the Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, what is up? What is up, you guys? Give me just a second. I gotta get some. So we're about to move on to the Braves, man. Apologies. Last week, first show, Braves were down 0-1 in the wild card series to the Padres, and I was like, yo, that's all we need to get is a dub. We need a dub. Let's move on. Obviously, the dub didn't come, y'all. The dub never came. We got clapped out of there by the Padres, and the Padres are kind of doing some work against the Dodgers right now, bro. If I'm not mistaken, I had to take a look at that for a second, but give me just a second, real quick. So yeah, when it comes to the Braves, man, I don't know. It's sort of hard, man, because who gonna stay, man? Who's still gonna be here, bro? I mean, I over the years, the Braves have let many free agents go. And I got AA's thing, man. He ain't gonna resign nobody who's once they reach a certain day in their 30s and he doesn't want to give them big contracts. And of course, other teams will, like Freddie Freeman, right? Win the World Series. Freddie Freeman was a major contributor in that World Series. And what happened? Literally, like a literal major contributor. And I'm thinking, oh shit, we got to bring Freddie back. Freddie definitely coming back to the Braves. No, play for the Dodgers now. He's been there for a few years. And so then you have that thing going on. So it obviously Max Fried is the next one that we have out here. Unless he's going to take a pay cut, probably not coming back to the Braves. So you just have to deal with that kind of stuff. Sort of listening to everybody talk about what they might as well keep him. I would like to keep him. I would like to keep Max Fried, man. I really would. But apparently it's probably going to be costing a lot of it's going to cost a lot of money. And the Braves have not been known to sort of pay these cats who mean a lot to the franchise, who the fans absolutely love. They just let them go. And look, man, Freddie go. Freddie was hurtful for the fans. I think we've reached a certain point where you have to, you got to bring back Max, man. Got to bring back Max, even though I know it's even a shaky postseason record. When we won the World Series a few years ago, he was a major contributor to that as well. So Braves wise, again, we got bounced. So there's no more Braves postseason baseball for this season. We got a lot of season stuff to think about, man. And I'll be keeping you updated as the show goes on. But as of right now, there's really no news because as free agency goes with any sport, you can't do anything until the season is done. And we still got playoff games going on and World Series upcoming and all of that stuff. So I'll get back to you Braves wise. I will. I promise that fact. I just wanted to make sure that I hit up, talk about them just a bit. It's funny that last Wednesday is when they lost, so I have 7 days to get over it. So it's not like they just lost last night, in which case my demeanor might be a little bit different on the show. It's sort of once you get over. See, if you've been watching sports for long enough and been cheering for sports teams, and you know how it feels to lose, and you know how so you start to be able to get over it a lot faster than you used to. So there's that. So the Braves, man. Yeah, 5-4 Padres. Obviously, Fried was he came in that game and he gave up all 5 runs that they had, and then we were able to hold them down, but it was too late after that. It was much too late, and so Braves next season. Let's go. Like I said again, there should be more talk about the Braves as this offseason progresses and we start to get some more information. Because as of right now, with the postseason still going on in the major leagues, that we're not going to get much until the season's over with. Then we start seeing some of those things sort of pass on, man. So let's get it, man. Hey, let's jump into it, man. Let's jump straight into it, bro. Georgia on my mind. I apologize for that. My voice is terrible. I shouldn't even done that. But anyway, Georgia, right? Bouncing back from the loss against Bama, which they needed to do. I think it's one of those things where it's we saw what happened. We all saw what happened, right? We all saw what happened. And we all saw, Alabama take us down. The game was close, but I've already explained that. Much too late for the comeback. You're going to come back. You're going to get down by that much. You can't be waiting. And again, let's talk about this game real quick. I'll talk about my shift. I work third. So on Saturday, I sort of woke up a little bit. I try to center my Saturday sleep around Georgia, right? Since it's football season. And I woke up midway through the third to see Georgia, just barely beating Auburn. 7-3, bruh. 7-3 was the score. Almost halftime. And I woke up and you wake up and I'm like, wait, what am I seeing? We lost to Alabama last week. We're playing a far inferior opponent, even though it's the Deep South oldest rivalry. I expected the game to not be a blowout, right? But at the same time, I expect Georgia might think that they had a point to prove, right? Let's come, because last week we didn't look good. We lost. We caught the L. Let's come out a little bit more. So I get up and I start watching the game and I'm like, 7-3? 7-3? What's going on here? What was happening here? Georgia. No, Georgia winning. Hey, I'm one of those fans. It was more satisfying. Which let me ask you, Alabama fans, would you rather literally? I've talked to Alabama fans in the South. That's where I live. They would rather have lost to us than lost to Vanderbilt. Literally would rather have lost to Georgia because obviously Georgia was ranked number 2. That's an obvious thing, right? So you lost to number 2. You probably don't follow the rankings that much. But they would rather have lost to Georgia, the rival, than lost to Vanderbilt, bro. I feel them to a certain extent because Vanderbilt is super unranked. But yeah, man. Woke up midway through the third, and it says it can't be running. Look, couple things. As I move through this, I think hopefully Kirby is realizing that the defense that they ran through the natties, the couple of natties that we got when we earned ourselves a couple of these things, with that time, you can't run that same defense. We don't have the personnel. We don't have the linebackers that can get from side to sideline like we used to. We are getting beat on the edges 2 games in a row. And again, they picked up the slack in the second half. But, man, again, I told you guys against Alabama, too late. Too late. Too late. Right? And so this week, I'm like, what are we doing here? Why are we still, like, not showing up in the first half of games, right? And again, obviously, at the end of the game, 31-13. They caught on in the second half. But again, man, this we saw what happens. Georgia has been given the perfect example of what happens when it's too little, too late. You turned it on in the second half against Bama last week, and it was too late. You can't be doing this stuff where you're down. You're scoring 7 points. They ended up with 14 at half, but it was almost 7 points. 7. You're the number 1 ranked team in the country coming into this season. 7, right? So yeah, and I'd be remiss if I didn't also talk about Georgia and also mention we've still got players out there that are getting in trouble. Kirby, you got to clean that up, man. You got to clean it up. Understand these young men, and there's a lot of stuff going on out there, but it's becoming. And then look. I'll tell you this: if we're not the first college football program to have players that get in trouble outside of the field, but we need to squash that, bro. We need to squash that and sort of. I don't know what Georgia can do in this situation when you have this many happening. 7, man. 7 in recently, right? And you had your kid, Kobe Young, Georgia wide receiver, arrested for charges of battery and assault against an unborn child. The 7th football Georgia player to be arrested this year, this calendar year, bro. Kirby, I'll tell you, man. I'm not that type, and I know there's a lot of those kind of fans out there. I'm not the type that as long as we win it, I don't give a damn what the team does on outside of football. That's not how this works, bro. Clean net. That is, you got to clean that, right? Also, I'll just put this little tidbit out there before I move on because it's getting a little. I'm running a little long. It's crazy that if you looked at the rankings as they came out, Georgia lost to Alabama, right? We were ranked number 2 in the country behind Texas, right? Texas took the number 1 spot, deservedly so. They had been beating ranked opponents. We had not. And then we struggled against Kentucky. So they took our spot, right? So we get out there, we play Alabama, who's ranked number 4 at the time, lose to Alabama, drop to number 5, right? I thought we would drop a few spots further because of what the NCAA has sort of led us to believe when it comes to losses, right? Right? Because last year, I remember finally, we were number 1 all season. Lost to Alabama in the SEC championship game, and they dropped us to 6th. 6th. Right? I ain't going to get back on that because anybody with any brains could know, like, how the hell is a team that dominates for that long lose 1 game to the team that's ranked 6th? And drop out of the top 4. But, it is what it is. I think Georgia fans got past that pretty swiftly because we had 2 of these things already. So they were like, okay, it's not cool by any stretch, but we can deal with that. And I think I got over it pretty easily as well. I was like, okay, whatever. They're going to punish us because Kirby ran up the score on TCU. That's cool. Do that. Y'all didn't get your money because Kirby ran up the score and half of the nation tuned out of the national championship game against TCU. So a lot of sponsors lost a lot of money in that game. And I think that's what happened to Kirby last year. We lost to Alabama. in a game that was not even, it was like a blowout or nothing. Literally. Alabama loses to a team that's super unranked. And they 6? Say it again. I'll say it again for you. Last year in the playoffs, right? Or last year before the playoffs started, Georgia was ranked number 1. We went up against Alabama in the SEC championship game. We lost to Alabama, who was at the time ranked number 6, which pushed us to number 6, right? Alabama shot straight to number 1, right? We all remember seeing it right there. Alabama shot into the top 4. They got into the playoff, right? But I thought they deserved to be there. You beat number 1. You deserve to be in the playoff. You just beat us, right? But we deserve to be knocked out of the top 4, right? So that happened. Alabama, undefeated, ranked number 1 in the country, gets beat by a super unranked team. When I say super unranked, I mean they ain't top 30. Vanderbilt. And all Alabama gets is dropped to number 6. Right? Let's look at it again. Georgia, number 1, loses to 6th-ranked Alabama, right? SEC rival, SEC championship game, you know the stakes. We lose, we get dropped to number 6. Alabama shoots up into the top 4, right? Deservedly so. I had no problem with that. But then this year, we lose to Alabama. We're at number 2. We get dropped to number 5. Fine. Alabama loses as number 1 to Vandy, who ain't even nowhere near ranked, and they just get dropped to 6th. So let me tell you, the equivalent of undefeated Vanderbilt or to unranked Vandy is the same equivalent of number 6 Alabama last season. Same team. So what are we doing here, right? Alabama should be I don't think they should be outside of the top 10, but if you're going to drop Georgia outside of the playoff, for that, you got to do more to Alabama, man. You got to do more to Bama, bro. You got to do more to them. Can't let them just be easy at number 6 when y'all literally bounced us out of the playoff last year when we lost to a very good fucking football team, right? Excuse my language. I'm trying to keep it down. It's going to so it gets on me. So next week, we're pulling up we got Mississippi State pulling up to Athens. And we need to keep this train going. Georgia, for the rest of the season, needs to leave no doubt. They need to come out in the first half fast and just start scoring on people and do not stop until the season's over with. That's the only way you're going to get back your respect after losing. And because people kind of looking at Georgia kind of funny right now, man. They are. They say, yeah, Georgia's got this and that, but they went to Bama and lost again. So Bama, you got some stuff. You got some stuff, bro. Or not Bama, but Georgia, you got some stuff, man. You got to take care of some stuff. You got to take care of some business this week against Mississippi State. And for the rest of the season, you can't let any other team be close to you as far as I'm concerned, right? You can't let another team get even remotely close if you're trying to get back into the echelon where you were just a couple seasons ago as being like right at the top of college football, man. Because right now they just, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's move on. Georgia Tech, man. Georgia Tech in the house. Georgia Tech. Well, let me get the thing up here real quick. Georgia Tech doing their thing, man. 2 losses in the ACC. Beat some pretty good teams. I mean, obviously, they got a couple challenges up ahead coming up. But let me get this up here real quick. Apologies for this. Apologies. All right. Let me get this thing up here. It's Tech. All right. Georgia Tech beats Duke 24-14. Again, like I said, Georgia Tech is 4-2. Rushing attack. Let's look at some of these statistics for the game. Excuse me. Quarterback Haynes King for the Georgia Tech, 23-31, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. You ain't used to see Georgia Tech throwing that much in the game. 2 passing touchdowns. Malik Murphy for Duke, 18 for 31, 205 yards. Obviously, when we talk about rushing, Jamal Haynes, number 11 for Georgia Tech, 128 rushing yards, 19 carries, no touchdowns. 59 carries for Chad Alexander. Haynes King had 30 carries as well as passing the ball. Zach Pyron, the only player with a rushing touchdown in the game. But that's all they needed, man. 24-14, Georgia Tech, man. They moving that thing. Look pretty good throughout the season. I mean, obviously, let's see what the schedule look like coming up for them. As we take a look, obviously they won Florida State. Georgia State won, lost against Syracuse, beat and again, lost against Louisville, won against Duke. So that's at 2 L's. They got North Carolina this weekend. They're going to be pulling up to North Carolina and sort of trying to extend this winning streak, extend this record. And then they got Notre Dame, bro. That's going to be the game right there. right? I talked about it last week. Georgia Tech has Notre Dame on October 19th, 3:30 p.m. You know what I'm saying? A Saturday. Let's get it. They got to play Virginia Tech, Miami as well. And then obviously they end the season off with the Georgia boys, right? So we'll see what's going on. But hey, they go looking good. They're looking good. I've always been sort of, my feelings have been tempered. I am a Georgia fan, but like when you play Georgia Tech at the end of the season, if they're really good, it's kind of scary because, this is college football and upsets tend to happen on the regular. So you have that. But yeah, so there's an upcoming schedule. Again, they just beat Duke. They have North Carolina this weekend, Notre Dame next weekend, and then Virginia Tech is upcoming for Georgia Tech. They're looking good, man. Again, looking good. ACC standings, Georgia Tech is currently in the 6th spot with a conference record of 2-2. So like I don't think they'll be winning the ACC. You got Clemson, Miami up there who are 3 and 2-0 respectively in there, and Miami is 6-0. So Miami's probably winning the ACC if I'm betting right now. But who knows, man? Who knows? Like I said, they got to play Miami. The time is to be determined. It's on November 9th, bro. They might throw that shit at nighttime if the records are still right. They might throw it at 3:30. They might throw it at 12 noon. But they will be playing these teams. So Georgia Tech, as much as I'm not the biggest Georgia Tech guy, I will say the upcoming schedule again: North Carolina, Notre Dame. They beat North Carolina this weekend, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, and Miami, who is currently 6th. And by the time they get to that game, Miami could be in the top 5. But it is not even, there's a super chance actually that they might be in the top 5 by the time that game happens. So, and again, Georgia Tech 6th rank in the conference, in the ACC conference as that goes. So, yeah, man. Hold on, let's see. I think I pretty much hit everything, man. I know I'm running a little bit long on this show. Apologies, had some little bit of trouble at the beginning. But hey, everybody who tuned in, again, I appreciate y'all, man. Again, you're watching Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Network. The only place you can find sports, man. Your total place. Just get on IE Sports Network. There's a ton of shows to watch covering all different kinds of sports. So it's all out there for you guys. And I appreciate you watching me on IE Sports Network. So to put it down a little bit. So let's see what we got. Sure, we good. All right. And real quick, man, I did want to talk about the Hawks, man. They are preseason, just got the first preseason game done. They won a buzzer beater, man. Buzzer beater. I'm gonna get this done real quick. And I'll pull this up here for y'all. Phone is acting a fool. Apologies. Anyway, so Hawks, man. Let's talk about the Hawks. Real quick, preseason just started. They did have a 131-130 victory over the Pacers. It was a buzzer beater, if you did catch the highlights of the game. So they're looking good, man. Looking good. As I pull up some of these statistics right here, first off, when it comes to the Hawks, man, where we at? Oh, here we go. The rookie, Wasaka, played 23 minutes, 7 for 9 field goals, had 18 points, man. Looked good out there. The rookie that we just drafted number 1 overall in this recent NFL draft, my bad, the recent NBA draft. Sort of had great game. Let's see. Atlanta Hawks starters, Capella had 11, Trae Young had 17, Daniels with 14. So, hey, man, as the season gets started, obviously, there's some kinks to work out, but preseason basketball has started. And as much as I try to tell you, there's not much information out there about basketball, but when the season starts, I got y'all, man. I will be off, on that stuff, trying to matter of fact, I'm gonna try to catch myself a couple of Hawks games. I hadn't been to a Hawks game in quite some time, probably a couple seasons, so I'm gonna try to catch one as well. As much as Braves too, man. Try to catch some more of those games or whatever. So Hawks looking forward to it. And I think that's about it, y'all. I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of Georgia Sports Central right here on the IE Sports Radio. Again, I apologize at the beginning. I had a couple technical difficulties, which sort of led to the show starting a little bit wonky. I apologize. I will get that fixed. And so if you're tuning in here for the Georgia sports, I hate to be the one that's kind of messing up, but I got it. Okay, I'll take care of it. And I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, and hopefully, Falcons can keep it rolling, man. Hopefully they can. I mean, like I said, they got a couple more division games coming within like the next 5 or 6 weeks, but then they don't play the Saints again, or it's the Panthers again to the end of the season. So they got some stuff going on, but they're number one in the division. Number one in the division, the Atlanta Falcons. So, yeah, that's Sorry, I got it correctly. Yeah, so that's good, man. That's good. That's Let's see. Hey, I appreciate you, Adam. Appreciate you 1,000%, man. I appreciate it. So, real quick, let me get this up here. So cheer with the Falcons this weekend. See what happens with them. Obviously, again, it's the Panthers. We'll see what happens there. On Georgia, Georgia's going on Mississippi State, and then Georgia Tech is playing at North Carolina this weekend. We'll see what happens with that. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. Back-to-back North Carolinas for them. So anyway, you have been watching Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio. Appreciate you guys, and throw this up there. Hopefully the Falcons can keep it rolling. Georgia has to keep it rolling, dude. Georgia, you got to keep it rolling, especially if Bama beat you, then they lost against Vanderbilt, and now sort of there's a little bit of open space there. We got to take care of that, man. We got to take care of that. As Georgia fans, we got to sort of get back on the right track when it comes to the SEC football. And Falcons, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Hawks, when the season starts, we're ready for you. Braves, man. Hate to see it in that way, but hopefully we'll see what happens in the offseason for the Braves. Been a lot of work to be done as far as AA is concerned, the Braves general manager, and to get this team back. So, yeah. Hey, apologies while I vibe for just a second. I've had this music for quite some time. Shouts out to Theory H2O, one of my friends. He's a producer. Sort of made this beat a long time ago and gave it to me, and I've been using it for some. And this is the best usage of it thus far, is to get sort of hyped for the show. So anybody else who's been watching out there, I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, Georgia Sports Central on Twitter. You tell them. Right here. Georgia Sports Central. Follow everything: Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, IESportsRadio.com. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, all those places you can find them. And see you guys. Y'all take it easy. Georgia Sports Central, IE Sports Radio. Out.